Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VIN2121, and unfortunately it is a salvage title, as you can see in the photo here. And I'm actually fairly familiar with this car because I didn't do a deep dive on it when it was for sale in 2025. That's right before I started doing them, but I do remember kind of doing a in-depth investigation on this car for someone who eventually bought it, and then it was later repoed. And so I'll get into that here in a little bit, but this is a 2017 083, which is ultra white with LA30 red interior. It's for sale at Copart in Michigan with 106,000 miles, and it will likely be a parts car. Production statistics: 648 out of the 2,348 cars for the US 49 were ultra white, and of those, 361 had LA30 red interior. It's the most common color combo for the US 49. 15.37% of all of these cars were this color combo, so like a 1 out of 10 for rarity. For 2017, much lower production, 115 out of the 342 cars, so like a third of them, were ultra white. 63 had LA30 red interior. So this car was built January 16th of 2017. It was in service in May 10th of 2017. It has engine number 2069438 if it has the original engine, and it has options FT, which originally had the polished wheels, not quite like those, and instead of the gray or black wheels. And so this car now has black wheels, but it originally had polished, and it has the color heads-up display option. It was not standard on 17s through 20s. Mark Levinson, orange calipers, and option Z2, which is the comfort and convenience package for the rear trunk mat, the cargo net, wheel locks, etc. Carfax, Epic VIN, and Auto Check. So here in July, middle of July 2026, it's not yet on the Carfax. So Carfax shows this as a 4-owner, no accident car, which is not the case. Epic VIN shows this as a 4-owner, no accident car, again, not the case. And AutoCheck shows this as a 5-owner, no accident car. And a note on the Carfax: it was repoed in April of 2025, and then it was later sold. Previous sales. So again, the previous sales aren't really relevant anymore, but it's a Texas, North Carolina, Virginia, and now Michigan car. And I do remember looking at this for somebody, as I said, and I have some videos from the salesman when I was inquiring about it for this on behalf of this person earlier. And so here's the videos on it, and so you can see and listen. I'll shut up for a minute. So now into the photos. Obviously all the airbags are deployed, and so that is very expensive to fix. This car has about a dozen airbags between curtain, seat, knee, the regular airbags. There's a lot of damage on the right-hand side, including to the rear quarter, which is a very expensive spot to fix, and it was a hard hit to the right front. So I'm not sure really if this one's going to be salvageable. I mean, anything's salvageable with enough money, but financially, it's not going to make sense to rebuild this car. And you can see it still has the aftermarket exhaust system that you heard in the video. It has an aftermarket steering wheel. Some of the carbon fiber trim is delaminating on the center console and just starting on the passenger front dash piece. So this car doesn't have keys, and that's kind of unusual, and kind of immediately thought, okay, maybe it was stolen. So I ran the VIN on the National Insurance database to see if it was stolen or claimed stolen, and as of right now, the middle of July 2026, it is not. So not sure the whole story behind this, if it was just an impact or if it indeed was stolen or something like that. So as far as the price goes, as I said, this is probably going to be a parts car, and in order for it to make sense as a parts car, $10,000 to $12,000 is probably where it needs to be, and it'll probably sell for more than that because they've always been selling for more than that. And I would realistically expect it to probably sell north of $15,000. And if it's any more than that, then you've probably paid too much. So now to the service history. I wouldn't call this well dealer serviced, but early on it was. There's a gap from about 40,000 miles to 105,000 miles, or 104,500. So quite a gap, but there was a lot done, and so it's worth going over on this car. October of 2017, this car had an ignition interlock on that, and so it's usually if somebody had court ordered where you have to blow into something for the car to start, this car had that on it. And then a couple weeks later, there was a note about them removing it, and they also wanted all of the calipers painted red, so it had, and in the previous sale photos, it had red calipers. December of 2017, engine oil low warning, and that could be related to a previous oil change, or this is one of those that's got an oil consumption issue. April of 2018, the right front and the right rear shock were replaced, along with a JLB recall being done, so it's the high pressure fuel pumps. The 2017s through 2020s had the adaptive damping shocks, and they were known to leak. Some of them leaked when they were brand new, some of them made it to 70 or 80,000 miles. This one made it to 12,000 miles before two of them started leaking. However, the part was not updated until about 2021, so any prior replacements to that, it's still going to leak again, and that will be the case on this car, as you'll see. June of 2018 at 14,000 miles, so 2,000 miles later, again, a low oil light warning that was on, and it was towed in, and they did an oil change, and that's the last of you we heard of it. June of 2019, 25,000 miles, both front shocks were again leaking. You're gonna see this as a common issue on this car. So they were replaced. September of 2019, 28,000 miles, the KLG was done. So that is the GPS location reporting incorrectly. So that's already done on this. January of 2020, passenger side headlight has moisture in it, and it was causing it to work intermittently. And they noted that it was not warranted, and it was not replaced there. And if it's not from an impact, what I've seen from these cars is if you pull up to like a parking curb, a parking stone, and the lip goes over it, when you back up and it catches that, part of the bumper is attached on the rear brackets, or part of the bumper is attached to part of the headlight. And so if it pulls on that, it's gonna break the bracket underneath the headlights, and it will cause a crack, and moisture will get in it. And that's a common thing that I'm starting to see as time goes on of how these get damaged. It's not necessarily a rock impact or something like that. So again, in February of 2020, they again complained about the passenger side headlight not working, and it was declined, probably because it's like a $4,000 replacement. A couple months later, they must have traded it in or sold it, and there's a note in June of 2020 about certified pre-owned prep, and there's a note on it as is or wholesale. So I'm not sure if they didn't repair it there. So a month later, July of 2020, they removed the passenger side headlight and resealed it, and a note about ordering an airbox, and I don't think they did that. So this car had an aftermarket intake on it. A month later, October of 2020, noted about the aftermarket intake, and again in August of 2020, 40,000 miles, the passenger side headlight was not working, and it was replaced, and they noted that the vehicle was hit on the right side. So there's nothing about an accident on the Carfax, so there's something that was trying to be done outside of insurance is what it sounds like. And then they also wanted to price out the driver's side headlight, and it was not done there. They noted a broken aftermarket intake. They requested, or they The dealer suggested to replace it, and it was declined there. The fender liner was noted as damaged due to impact. So this car had some kind of accident or impact or something going on around August of 2020. And then there's a 5-year, 65,000 mile gap, and July of 2025, 104,000 miles, the 120,000 mile service. It doesn't say on here if the spark plugs were done, but on the Carfax, it actually does. It says they did the transmission service, the TVD service, and the spark plugs all there too. August of 2025, 104,000 miles. They noted paint work on the right rear bumper. Again, this car is an accident-free car, but it's had paint work. Replaced the front struts yet again for about $1,500 along with the mounts. So this car has had the front struts replaced 3 times on one, 2 times on the other. So it's now on its 4th and 3rd front shocks. However, it is replaced with the new part. And of course, now one of them is damaged. On Carfax, there's an oil change at 67,000 miles, and there's not much else. So that brings me to, would I buy this car? I think only as a parts car is where this car is going to make sense. It does have an aftermarket exhaust. Sounds like it has a pretty decent drivetrain, even though it's, kind of higher mileage compared to what's normally popping up right now. But, 105,000 miles, that's not unreasonable. If you have a car like our blue GSF, it's on its way to 200,000 miles. You could have a lower mile engine, lower mile transmission, lower mile TVD, torque vectoring differential. But the drivetrain parts seem to be all right. The other wheels, the other brakes, those are all right. Some interior parts, the carbon fiber trim, there is some value there. But the driver's side and passenger side seat bottoms, the more you think about it, there is some value for parts here. And I think that's probably where this is headed. So that's what I've got for you guys, VIN 2121. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.